Hi, this is Mrs. Nagayama, and this recording will help you with Quiz 1.09. Please review sections 1.06, 1.07, 1.08, and 1.09 before taking this quiz. So for this quiz, we're going to go over the 7 characteristics of life. We'll be going over the ones that are bolded, so metabolism, response, heredity, and cellular organization. Please review the other sections to read on homeostasis, reproduction, and growth and development. So metabolism. Metabolism is the total of all the chemical reactions in your body. So this includes building things up and breaking things down. So some examples of this would be bringing oxygen into your body, storing sugar, and breaking down sugar. When someone has a fast metabolism, like I'm sure you've heard before, they are often leaner because they need to eat more. This is because their body uses up its energy at a faster rate. So their body is breaking down and building things a lot faster than someone with slow metabolism. Here's another characteristic of life. Things that are living are usually organized in a very similar way. So the progression is, it goes from a cell, a group of cells would be tissues. A group of tissues would be an organ. A group of organs would form an organ system. And a group of organ systems would form an organism. So the cell is the smallest unit of life, and all of these components will make up an actual organism, which would be something like a human, a cat, or a dog. So here's a sample question from Quiz 1.09. What level of organization comes between a cell and an organ? Would it be A, tissue, B, organ system, C, organism, or D, organelle? So remember, what is between a cell and an organ? So that means it'll be, what is a group of cells, right? A group of cells would be something, and a group of that one thing would make up an organ. So let's go ahead and revisit that slide. We see that in between cell and organ, we have tissues. So a group of cells would make up tissues, and a group of tissues would make up organs. So the best answer for this question would be A, tissue. Another characteristic of life is response. So organisms that are living respond to their environment. Remember, environments don't stay the same throughout the year. They often change, especially as seasons change. So one really familiar example would be during the winter, bears will hibernate in response to the cold weather. Their environment changes and they respond by hibernating. Another characteristic of life would be heredity. So everything living has some sort of genetic material that is passed on to their offspring. This allows for parents and their offspring to have similar traits. For example, if 2 white dogs, like you see below, mate with one another, they will probably have offspring that have white fur as well, since they pass their genes to their offspring. So this passing of genes is what we call heredity. Here's a sample question. A bird with bright feathers has offspring that also have bright red feathers. What characteristic of life is this an example of? Is it A, movement, B, heredity, C, growth and development, or D, metabolism? So again, a bird with bright feathers has offspring that also has bright red feathers. What characteristic of life is this? Remember, for heredity, everything has a genetic material that is passed down onto their offspring. This allows parents and offspring to have similar traits. So the best answer for this one would be B, heredity. Here's another question. Some aquatic frogs spend the winter hibernating, buried in the mud at the bottom of the lakes and ponds. Which characteristic of life does that behavior represent? Is it A, heredity, B, growth and development, C, metabolism, or D, response? So we have aquatic frogs spending the winter hibernating. So the weather changes, it becomes winter, and they go and hibernate. This is very similar to the bear that we talked about, and this is the characteristic called response. Organisms change in response to the changes in their environment. So the best answer for this one would be D, response. So this concludes the review for Quiz 1.09. Please make sure you review the sections that I mentioned in the beginning of this review video. If you have any questions, please email me and I can send you more resources.